My name's Josie. I work as a preschool teacher. Well, for me in particular, I felt the greatest impact is working at the preschool because we've had to reduce the amount of students we let back into the preschool. So we're only at half the normal capacity, which has been a challenge for the entire community because childcare in the first place is very limited in rural areas, and it's just a huge constraint on so many of the families. Just being able to only serve half the amount of families we normally serve has just been like a huge challenge to everyone in the community. Like with young children, it's so like facial expressions and facial recognition is super important because just showing through your face and your emotions, like trying to teach kids like basic skills is something that's been really difficult, just wearing a mask, and now the children wear masks as well, so just trying to develop those soft skills, which is so important with young children, is really so much more difficult because we're not able to see each other's faces. The kids are constantly touching everything, and there's so many instances throughout the day where we need to be sanitizing objects and faucets and everything that the kids could touch, and then there's all the things that we don't see them doing because they're constantly just like grabbing things. And so it's scary just to think about that. If you forget to sanitize one thing or you miss one thing, that's a potential way to be spreading germs, and that's just within our classroom. And we also share, like, I have a group of kids in my classroom, but there's 4 other classrooms in the preschool, and so we have some shared spaces with them. So it's like trying to like maintain the germ pool and like do everything we can when there's also possibilities of like infecting other groups of kids is scary, because it's just like one point of contact. That's all it really takes. So I don't know how this would actually work out, but part of the reason we're only allowed to be at half of the capacity is just because of like the limited space that we have at the preschool, and like how many students are allowed to be within 6 feet, of one another. We could maybe take like some children to like a park so that we could let more children into the preschool, because like we would be able to, if we could have like a group of kids like outside of the preschool, like in a park nearby, then we could potentially have more kids at the preschool and be serving more families, because there are several playgrounds nearby, that are open and like we can clean. So if we could somehow like bring more kids in by like utilizing public spaces that are like a park where, or like a little forest where like it's not as like germ prone.